Welcome to another Demarcation Media Mega Construx review. Today it is finally time to look at the Banished Phantom. This is a set that people have been asking for and speculating about since we saw it first in Infinite. And the design has been kind of a controversial one. Some people like the older one more. Some people do like this design. I personally think this is a pretty cool design. It definitely fits the Banished aesthetic, whereas the original Phantom, was all round edges. Basically, the Banished were like, what if we did the same thing, but it's a box with some hard edges? And that's kind of feels like a lot of the Banished style. So I think it's a good design. So I'm going into this with having enjoyed the way they did this design from the start. So there's been I don't want to say a mix-up necessarily, because I don't know if it's a mix-up, but essentially Mattel Creations was supposed to be the first place to get stock of this. There was a pre-order. It went up. A bunch of people got in the pre-order. I got in the pre-order, and it's been a long time. It's been probably almost a month now, and they're supposed to start shipping soon, theoretically, but Amazon somehow got them way before and started just shipping them out. So it's been frustrating for the people who wanted to use Mattel Creations. And my Mattel Creations order is still kind of in limbo. So this was provided to me by Discord user Ericulture. I was going to have to wait until the Mattel Creations release because I couldn't get the Amazon one. So huge thanks to Ericulture, who also included this little thing of there's some anime tag things. What do you call this? You put it on a door or on a keychain. I think that's is that one of the people from Attack on Titan? I'm really not well versed in anime. I've watched some Gundam and that's about it. But look, you can see got branding and everything, so that's kind of cool. So, again, big thanks to Ericulture, because this review would not be happening otherwise. So, the box features the new kind of blue backdrop, the new Mega logo. This time we do have a little bit of background. Instead of just Forerunner stuff, we've got mountains and some trees in the background. Now, it is a little sad with this one. I think this one would have looked absolutely magnificent with a full-on background. The rest of the sets have looked really good with this newer box art, but I feel like this one really could have benefited from that really good scenery. We have the alternate build up here, which looks kind of reminiscent of Blisterback. We have Jayga there in the front, Hudson over there. Halo Infinite branding. You can see the price tag. This one was $120. $118 is what Mattel Creations has it for, and I think Amazon has it for a little more than that. On the top, I love how this looks. I don't know why. It just really works for me. And we can see how the odds are not in Griffin's favor. Around the side, we have a nice render of Chief. Looking pretty cool. It's really hard to see the edge here because my studio is at capacity right now. Figures here, and then around the back we get to see the Phantom all opened up. Another shot of the Blisterback thing. We get to see all of the weapons, which we kind of get a lot actually. I was expecting one per figure, but no, we get a handful. Tank and helmet. The tank is something I still have yet to get. It was on Amazon for $80. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'll get that as soon as I can afford it. And then it was sold out. So now I have to track it down somewhere else. But yeah, let's go ahead and get this open. I believe this is just another one of those hinge boxes, which I am very much liking the hinge design. Let's see, was that enough? Was that all I needed to do? Yeah. Let me put my knife away. And here we go. We have all the pieces. Wow, there's a lot. There's some base plates here that are just floating. Not uncommon. Oh, there's a lot of them. Holy moly. A lot of base plates. There's the instructions. And they've added a little note that says the instructions for the main model only, which I appreciate because for a while they didn't say that, and they really needed to. We have a really nice infinite display here using the Scorpion, some of the new helmets, the Gungoose, the Phantom, and even one of the Sentinels from the Blind Bag series. I like that, actually. That's really good. They did something similar with the Red Team Warthog set. Whoa, they have, like, look at the edges of the paper. You can kind of see almost like the little scene. Oh, they even have the blind bags in the back. Is that the first time they've ever done that? I don't know if they've ever put the blind bags in there like that. Wow, these instructions are kind of nice. Wow, okay, I'm kind of... Whoa, there's a turret? Okay, I'm kind of impressed by these instructions. I was expecting them to be fairly normal, but this is pretty cool. There's some really cool pieces here. Lots of parts. Trying to find, where are the figures? Am I holding them? No. Well, that's 4. There's so much. Well, that's 3. Here's 1. Here they are. And it looks like, yeah, they come assembled. Very cool. Okay, so I am going to go put this together, which is probably going to take me an hour or so. So, yeah, for you, it's going to be like... And there we go. It is all put together. Kind of took me a while. I was not expecting it to take so long. And honestly, I'm dreading taking it apart to put together the alternate build because there's a lot of stacking of plates. And those are really difficult to get together and even harder to take apart. So it's going to be interesting. As per usual, Mega keeps trying to scare me that I'm not building things correctly because they gave a ton of extra parts. An absolute ton. There's a lot of pieces in there. Some of them are quite useful, but that feels like too much. So let's go ahead. We'll start with the figures. This is a very interesting set, and I feel like I'm not fully decided yet whether it's a good one or a meh one. But let's look at the figures. We'll start with that Gummy Ashram. So this right here might just be the best Gummy figure Mega has ever made. Because, first of all, he's not just a plain Gummy. So I have the Atriox Gummy here for comparison. And you can see that Ashram has detail. He actually has, like, print on him. So the shoulders, the forearms, all have darker markings down on the legs. Even around the back. Looks really good. His little, whatever those things are, have white. He's got the Banished symbol on his forehead. His beard kind of in white. So he looks really good. And Ashram spends the majority of Infinite talking to Chief through holograms. So this is not only the best Gummy figure, it is also the most useful Gummy figure. And then he comes armed with this translucent red grab hammer, which looks awesome in translucent red. And then he comes with a translucent red stand. However, there is another place to kind of display him, and we'll look at that later. But I'm impressed. This is a great figure. I thought it was just kind of a throwaway figure at first when they revealed that there was going to be a Gummy Ashram. I wasn't sure if they actually were going to do all of this print because, you know, sometimes Mega adds a little too much detail in their renders and then the actual figure is a little bit meh. But no, they actually went all out. It looks fantastic. It really looks like the holograms we see in Infinite. And now we can have Ashram's hologram constantly following Chief around, monologuing to Chief while Chief tries to ignore him. So that's pretty cool. I like this figure. That's a strong start. Our next figure is this Brute Captain, who is unnamed, though he does look like some of the HVTs from Infinite, so I suppose you could just pick one of them, whoever looks the closest, and give him that name. He currently has a, gosh, am I going to get this right? Mangler. I can't get the Mangler and the Mauler straight. Mangler. It doesn't have any print. It does, however, have a muzzle flare in yellow, which is not a very common color. Usually they would use yellow for Call of Duty sets, and they usually would also just come as the single piece. But we get a full assembly here. Oops, knocked him over. In yellow, which does fit on the Mangler. But there are some other weapons for him to use, but they're stored in the Phantom. We'll look at those later. So the figure himself is essentially... He does come with a stand. He's essentially just the Brute Captain from the Gungoose Gambit, but better. He literally shares all the same pieces, except he has printed ones. It's like Halo Heroes version, almost. So, I like this figure a lot. It's a little weird that we got the same coloring, and it's literally just one's an inferior version. I'm not so sure about that. He also has the same kind of translucent plastic for his forearms, which I'm also not really sure about. But for the most part, it's pretty good. These chunky Brute legs do look a little odd sometimes like that. The print here, it's a little lighter than the actual plastic color, but it's not bad. I really like the print on the helmet. Craig is under there. Now, this helmet does not like to stay on. It just kind of sits on there, and as soon as you even touch it, it falls off. So I think I'm going to have to put some sticky tack in there. That could just be a issue with mine, and it won't be widespread. But yeah, it's a good figure. It's the only unnamed figure in the set. But despite that, I don't feel like he gets too overshadowed by the named characters. Plus, you need somebody to pilot the Phantom, and he's it, because Gummy Ashram cannot pilot, and I don't think Jayga is going to be piloting the Phantom. He's going to be too busy jumping out of it. And speaking of Jayga, here he is. People have been waiting for him for a long time, basically since he was revealed. I figured he would show up in Halo Heroes first, but no, Mega decided to introduce him here. And first, I would like to point out, see his robotic arm? It moves. Mega, you now have no excuses for why Cat cannot have a moving robotic arm. Please, make a moving robotic arm for the Spartans, because the old one is very bad. Thank you. Okay, so this guy has kind of a lot going on. He has new knee plates here, new chest plate, new back plate, a new head, which is actually 2 pieces, so you can remove that. He's got all the scars. He has the new arm, which is actually molded in translucent red and then painted silver. Even though it is painted silver, it still looks pretty good. The silver coverage is good. The hand is not usable. It's just kind of a fist, which is fine because there's not much that would fit in between the blades to begin with. He uses a Spartan shoulder on this side, which I think is fine. And then on this side, he uses the Arbiter shoulder, which is also fine. His little head thing has a little bit of red print, although it's kind of dark. I feel like it needed to be brighter, both here and on the chest, because the chest has a lot of red print on it, but it's a bit faded looking. Like they didn't pick a bright enough color, which kind of just makes me think of the Hyperius that came in the AA gun. His print was a little hard to see, and then Mega went and did a Halo Heroes one that was a little bit better. So I have a feeling we'll see a Halo Heroes version at some point in the near future, but we'll see. We have a red energy sword, so the official Bloodblade here. No print there. No print around the back, but the shaping is very nice. It's all pretty much perfect shaping. His very hunched mechanical look. And then the head is very well printed. Overall, he looks very good. Very, very good. Mega has done a very good job here, and he has so many new pieces. Like, this is the entire new parts budget for this set, if not for some of the other sets as well. My only real complaint here, aside from the print needing to be brighter, is that he has that issue where the arm moves in the socket, which means I'm going to have to take him apart, heat him up, reform that socket, and put him back together. So that's a bit of a bummer. But other than that, he is a absolutely fantastic character. I cannot wait to get him into some photos with Chief. Very, very good. Well done, Mega. And then our lone UNSC figure is Spartan Griffin. The official Spartan Griffin. The Halo Heroes one is now officially not Spartan Griffin. However, I think I'm going to do a video comparing the two just to see them side by side. But no, this is the official Spartan Griffin, and he comes packing some heat, which he kind of needs it because he is going up against Jayga and a Brute Captain. He's got an unpainted rocket launcher, just in a normal gray. You could mount that on his back. You know what, did they give us a piece? Any extra pieces in here we could use? No. So if you have one of those pegs, you could mount this on his back like that. But I don't have one right now. And then he comes armed with an AR. Now, on the instructions, that is the Halo 4 and 5 AR. And even in the back, in the parts checklist, that is the Halo 4 and 5 AR. I believe Yan even said when asked about it that that was what's coming with the set. But no, you get the Infinite AR, which I'm happy about. I wasn't sure why they were going to start mixing in the old version. I think this is this is great. I don't know why they would use the old one. So it's just plain gray, Infinite AR, looking good. And then it has another muzzle flare in yellow. This happened too with the Pelican. Chief had the older version of the AR on the box, and Brohammer had a Magnum. And then in the actual set, they had the newer weapons. So I don't know why they keep getting inconsistent renders. But in this case, it's kind of a happy mistake. And then Griffin himself, I have looked very hard to try and find some good reference photos of Griffin. There are no good reference photos of Griffin, and the closest I could get was some photos of the Midnight Griffin armor coating, and even those are very dark, and it's very hard to tell what's what. So I can't say whether this guy is 100% accurate or not. He is a very odd mix of colors. He's like gray, really low contrast gray, and then metallic gray-blue. And so he's mismatched kind of across this way. So his foot here and his armor here, and then his waist and lower arms are all that blue. The chest, the head, the shoulders, this armor, and this leg are that metallic gray. So yeah, I think it's pretty close to accurate. If it's not 100% accurate, I don't think anybody's ever going to tell. But he looks pretty good. I still am confused as to why he's mismatched. There was never any explanation for that. All of the Spartans that you find dead have mismatched looking armor. I don't know what the deal with that was, but it looks pretty cool. I was expecting higher contrast between the mismatched parts, and I wasn't really happy about that. But this looks good. This came out good. I think there's some potential here for customizers too, because we now have just an all gray Mark 7 head, which mine has a bit of overspill at the top into the black. I might be able to fix that with a Gundam like panel liner pen, but for the most part, the visor's done pretty well. Chest plate is printed up nicely. The back plate, shoulders. Head has a bunch of extra black print, which looks pretty good. There's no black print here in the shoulders, but I think that's fine. So yeah, it's good to finally have an official Spartan Griffin, even though he did die as soon as we found him in game. It is definitely good to have an official one and not just that maybe Spartan Griffin purple guy. And I'm happy that the purple guy is not Griffin, because now I can use him in photos and do kind of whatever I want, whereas Griffin, well, he's dead. Okay, so now on to the Phantom itself. Now, just looking at it, just from the outside, the one thing that stuck out to me that I wish Mega would have done a little differently from the beginning when I first saw these images is I really wish that these doors would have had a little bit more detail. They're a bit of an eyesore. There's just nothing there. Both sides kind of, yeah, it could have been better. There's not a ton going on in terms of features. What is here is done pretty well. The design is decent. The looks, I think Mega captured the look pretty well, but it feels a little small and it's a little fragile in some areas that I really don't think it needed to be fragile in that area. But there's just a bit of a spin. There's some engines back there, and you do get these orange like flight stand things, so that you can have it hovering like this, which is nice, and it's easily removed. So you can just kind of pop that off like so. Then there's no like extra engine detail there, unfortunately. We do have the little grav lift that does go all the way in, which is nice. And then we also have, whoa, it's opening up already. There is no latch for that, so that is something to be aware of. We have this little hatch, and when we open it, this little turret pops out. It is just loose, so that means you can kind of like boom deploy it real quick, but then it just kind of swings in place. So it's kind of a trade-off there. And then the doors can open in just the middle, and then you have a turret that can fold out. You can have a figure hold on. The turret is just attached by one stud, and there's nothing on the bottom to like fit it together better. Just a 1x2 would have made this way more sturdy, but they for some reason didn't do that. That's a bit of a bummer, but you can have a figure hold it. It does shoot, and you can angle it around. It doesn't rotate, but the Phantom can rotate, so I don't think you really need to rotate the gun. And then these sides can also fold down. You have extra shots, and then there are some like studs here. So we'll get the Brute Captain from the Gun Goose, so you can get somebody ready to deploy. It's pretty cool. You can do that to both sides. There's a gun on both sides. There's the studs on both sides. And then, let's lower the camera. Now you can see the troop bay inside all the way through. Like so. And now, so to get it open, you can hinge the front like so. And now you can get into the cockpit. But to open the rest of this, it's already breaking. You have to do this. And gosh dang it, it happens every time. Yep, see, this is what I was talking about. I was warned that this was fragile, but I wasn't expecting it to be this fragile. So that popped off without me meaning to. And then, because of how tightly the center section grips, when you pull it off, you will almost always disconnect your roof from these pieces because it's only attached by 4 studs on each side. And yeah, that's a bit of a pain. And this is also big enough that I'm reaching the limits of my studio. But yeah, that's a pain. I don't like that. I don't like having to reconnect my sides every time I open it. That's very frustrating to me. And then you can also see here, this is kind of just, it's kind of free floating, sort of. It's just attached by the few studs, which means it can bow inward a little bit if you're pressing on it. Interior space, you've got a lot of interior space. There is the other stand for Gummy Ashram. Let me grab him real quick. Oh, I just broke his leg off. So you can stick him. It's an old style stand here. You can stick him on here. And I think this looks brilliant. I absolutely love this. We got very Banished looking buttons. It looks like the panel chief just punched instead of hacking. This could be removed if you wanted to. I'm not going to be able to get a good grip on it. But basically, it could be put into any setup you wanted. It's just a little control panel and the hologram stand. So I think that's really cool. And then there is the seat. There's the control panel in there. There's kind of throttles on the sides, but they're a little awkward to reach. We've got some clips here, I guess, for weapons. Rotate around to here. You can see we have a Ravager on a clip. And gosh dang it, Mega, if you keep giving me shock rifles, I am going to lose it because this is too many shock rifles. Please stop. There's enough shock rifles. It makes me think of that it's enough slices meme. But shock rifles. It's enough shock rifles. Please, no more. It is kind of a cool color, though. It's like a concrete color. But I don't want more shock rifles. I want more Ravagers, but not more shock rifles. And then you can take a figure and have him... No, come on. I want you to go down. Like so. He can pop through. There's not quite enough space to just get the figure out unless he falls over. And now he's like being run over multiple times. There we go. Yeah, so all unfolded like that. You can see it's got a lot of space. There's a lot of space for playing around in there, which is pretty cool. But opening it up is a pain, and it tends to leave your Phantom broken. But you do need to be able to open it up to load it with troops. I have heard some people complaining that it doesn't have enough troop space. So we're going to find out exactly how many brutes we can fit in here. So let me go ahead and grab my brute Ziploc. All right, so I have the brute bag. I've closed up the front because that's not really space for packing in figures. I guess you could maybe put somebody here, but that's not really the troop space. This is the troop space. So we're going to see how many we can fit in there. I think we're going to try to mostly use the Banished brutes. So like these guys in particular. Oh, wait, these guys can't fit two. Gosh dang it, Mega. Why did you have to do that? So some of these won't be able to fit in here because of the foot problem. Yeah, when they made the foot too long. Okay, so we're going to be using more like these ones. So this is the Halo Heroes Brute Warrior. We put him in there. I have another one where... Oh, no, this is the Halo Heroes Brute Warrior. Sorry, that other one is Craig from the Master Chief versus Craig pack. Okay, so 2. Here's the other Halo Heroes version. This guy is a really good army builder. Let's pack him in. Come on, stand. What the heck? Does his foot not stick down? Bro, what is going on? Okay. Wow, this is a very awkward thing to do with a camera in front of me. Okay, we lost Craig down the grav lift. He was a little overzealous to get into the battlefield. Okay, maybe we don't go for both feet on the ground. Maybe we just go for one. Like so. Yeah, I think that'll work better. These are the Battle for the Ark and Banished Marauder Banished Brutes. I really like these ones. Okay. So far we have 5 in there. We'll throw this guy in. This is the Banished Garrison Pack. Brute. Stand up, please. Thank you. I had another... Hello? Where did he go? Oh, he's in the Banished Marauder. I forgot. I left him in there. Okay, we'll use a blue one. Assuming he will stand. We'll use another blue one. Come on. Can we fit him here? It's a little bit tight. Okay, kind of. We can. Which means we should be able to do another on the other side. He's kind of stuck in there. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 brutes in there, plus holographic Ashram. I feel like I should be able to fit another one. So here's the Gungoose Brute Miner. Oh no, I just knocked the Halo Heroes guy out. Maybe if I have him facing the lift. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wait, I miscounted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 brutes plus Gummy Ashram. Plus we can fit a pilot. And maybe one more here. Maybe I can fit one here. Ah, his helmet came off. Dude, stand up. So a lot of these guys are not holding weapons. Okay, so there's a guy in there. So now the question is, can we close this? That is the big question. So that closes, and then these will hinge. These also get stuck a lot. Okay. Okay. So they're all packed in there. So now can we close the sides? So you can fit roughly 12 brutes in there. Fairly comfortably, I guess. I think it would be less if you were packing grunts in there, because grunts have such big, like, armor pieces sticking off. But I think 12 isn't bad. I think that's respectable for the size of this. And even for, like, I don't think you can fit that many guys in the Pelican. You might be able to fit some more in the Harvester. Yeah, you could probably for sure fit more in the Harvester. Which, speaking of the Harvester, I'm going to... Oh gosh, did I just break that? Yeah, that's... it's fragile. Why does it have to be so fragile? I'm going to go grab the Pelican, the Harvester, and the Falcon, and we are going to do some size comparisons. So here it is next to the newest Falcon. This is the Falcon Sweep Falcon. I feel like the Phantom really should be bigger here in this comparison. Perhaps I'm wrong, but I thought that canonically the Falcons were at least half the size of a Phantom, and that is not the case here. They're fairly comparable in size. Maybe somebody can tell me in the comments if I'm wrong on this, if the sizes are close. But I thought that it was supposed to be, you know, the Falcon would be smaller. But again, I'm not 100% sure on that. However, with the Pelican, oh my word. Oh yeah, I'm pushing the limits of my studio here. Yeah, I mean, I'm torn here. This looks wrong to me slightly. It looks like the Phantom should be bigger, but is it supposed to be bigger? I'm not sure. I feel like a little bit bigger. It's a little undersized compared to the Pelican. Just a little. Now, my kind of gold standard here for Mega Construx troop carriers is the Cabal Harvester. This thing is just so good. I've done a whole review on it, but just as a reminder, that's how much space is inside. Even to here. And I feel like it's fairly... Oh my gosh, I've never done that before. I feel like it's fairly comparable to a Phantom. It's essentially just the Destiny version of a Phantom. So you'd think that they would be close to the same size, but they're not really. The Harvester just has more of everything. Now, I feel like I'm being a little unfair here because the Harvester was like a $200, $250 set, whereas this is between $118 and like $130. So maybe that's not entirely fair because, you know, it's a $70 price difference at the very least. But it definitely feels like maybe Mega could have charged more and upscaled this a little bit. I don't know. Again, I'm kind of torn here. Well, there you have it. That is the Mega Construx Banished Phantom. Or, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say Mega Construx. It's just Mega now. So this is the Mega Banished Phantom. I'm having a hard time giving a final verdict here. So there's a lot of stuff that I really like about this set. The figures, first and foremost, really are outstanding. I was not real excited about the selection when I first saw this revealed. I don't know why. It was just like Griffin. It was like, yeah, it's Griffin. First of all, he's a dead character, so it's kind of like, eh. And we kind of had already gotten Griffin, but he was like, yeah, he's cool. Gummy Ashram, I was just like, yeah, we just get another red Gummy. The Brute Captain, it was like, kind of nice. And Jayga was the real draw of all of the figures. But now that I have them in front of me, Mega did a really good job. The Captain looks great. Very, very pleased with that. I was not expecting so much detail on him. Griffin looks really good. The armor coloring is very interesting and provides some options for making custom Spartans as well. And then the Gummy Ashram is super useful, absolutely fantastic, and Jayga is very well done. Like I said, Mega just needed to make the red print pop a little more, and obviously mine has a quality control issue because I don't know why I always get the quality control issues. But hey, at least I can show off what could happen. The Phantom itself is a mixed bag for me. The interior is pretty good. I like how we have the grab lift. I like the printed consoles. I love the little hologram table. That's all great. The overall shaping of the thing looks pretty good. But the size feels off to me. And it's fragile. Oh, I did forget to mention, up here under the front, right here, there's some, I can't get the light to hit it. There are some big pieces with like a gray printed vent in there. Forgot to mention that. That's really cool. Yeah, and then there's the price. And I'm going back and forth on that too. Looking at it like this, 118 feels both like a good price and a bad price at the same time. 120 is how it is some other places. Mattel Creations is 118. It's like, it's a good price, but it also feels too much for what the Phantom is. But maybe it isn't. I don't know. Is this the best set of the year? No. Definitely not at all. Not even close. Is it bad? No, I don't think it's a bad set. Could it be better? Yes, it definitely could be better. Is it... Here's the real thing. Does it live up to all of the hype that has been kind of building since there was people rumoring Banished Phantoms from the beginning? I say no. It does not really feel like it lives up to the hype to me, the Phantom itself. The figures, definitely. The Phantom itself, not quite. There are definitely some things lacking and some odd choices, like more detail here would have been nice, or at least some paneling, more detail on the doors. I don't know why they left the gun so flimsy, why the build itself became flimsy. Because you saw the Cabal Harvester, you saw how giant that thing was, how much space was inside. And I can pick that thing up, and I can fly it around, and I don't really feel like I'm about to break things. I know I broke the top hinge off, but because I was not being careful. But I can carry it around. I can literally grab it by one wing and pick it up and carry it off, and it doesn't feel like I'm just going to break stuff. But the Phantom feels like if I touch it wrong, I'm going to break something off. And the way you have to open it up breaks it more often than it just opens up. So that's frustrating. And I hate having to be like negative about these sets because I do really like the set. At the end of the day, it's a pretty decent set, but is it great and is it worth the hype? I don't think it is. I don't think Mega could live up to the hype that was around a Banished Phantom without making it a SIG series set and going all out. So, in terms of just a standard retail set, this is essentially the best we were going to get. or almost the best. So, yeah, that's kind of the bottom line for me. Is it a good set? Yeah, it's pretty good. Is it great? No, it's not great. And does it live up to the hype? No, it doesn't live up to the hype. Is it worth buying? Yes. It's definitely worth buying because even if you don't like the Phantom itself, you have enough pieces here to basically make your own Banished, like, Firebase kind of thing. You could easily use these parts to make yourself some Banished landscape base thing. And the figures are, for sure, going to be a huge draw. Jayga especially. So yeah, that's the bottom line. It's not as hype as I was hoping it would be. But it's not a terrible set. It just kind of falls in the middle. And is alright. After the, like, amazing success that was the Pelican, it makes it feel all the more underwhelming. So maybe that's a good way to put this set. It's a little underwhelming in terms of the Phantom itself. I was hoping for a little bit more. But yeah, if you're looking to get one of these for yourself, the most surefire way to get one is to go to the Mattel Creation site and pre-order one. Because, yes, they've been slow, and they were supposed to have gotten their units first, but it is coming straight from Mattel. So the chances of the orders being just straight up canceled is low. Entertainment Earth, Deep Discount, Amazon, all of them have a chance to just randomly cancel your order. But if you order from Mattel Creations, you will pretty much be set. And you might have to wait another month or so before they ship. But hey, it's worth waiting and knowing you're going to get one than canceling your pre-order and not knowing if you're going to be able to find one. So let's try to keep a little optimism about the Mattel Creations site because it could turn into something great. We just got to give it some time. Now, before we end off this video, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to all of the channel members. Not a Hacker 776, who has actually just started doing some videos of his own. I will put the link in the description below. Go check him out. Kevinator, Chonky Chief, and the newest member, HMC Photography and Stop Motions. Your guys' support means a lot to me, so huge thank you. And like I said, I will put a link to any of them who have like videos on their channels. I will put links down in the description below, so go check them out. They deserve it. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.